It is a great day to be alive here at Liberty Coach in Stuart, Florida, and today it is an honor to have the opportunity to see the first 2024 double slide Liberty Coach, and I believe this is the first new double slide Liberty we've ever had a chance to film.
Yeah, I think so. The last one was Coach number 890. I don't even know if we filmed that one, but this coach is Coach 906 on the new 9660 chassis, so we're really excited. There's some really cool features on the inside of the coach that I think everybody's going to be really excited about.
Definitely a completely different design and a lot of different styles than we've seen in the other new Liberty coaches. And then I also heard this coach has bus air. Is bus air an option that you're putting in every Liberty coach? Or?
No. Bus air is only an option that comes with a double slide coach. The over-the-road bus air is ducted down the floor level of the coach on either side and then comes up at the window sills. So when you have the slide rooms like you do on the driver side of the coach, most of that then runs down the passenger side. We can bring some up on the driver's side as well, but when you then throw a slide into the rear or a quad slide, there's nowhere for the air to be able to be ducted. Plus with bus air, there's another 700 and some odd pounds of that system added to the coach, so there's just too much weight. But you have 10 ton of air conditioning with a compressor that's belt driven on the engine, and then you've got about 160,000 BTU of heat as well when you're driving down the road. So this is the same system that is in the passenger bus or tour bus industry that, cools 50 some odd passengers or keeps them warm driving down the road.
Yeah, so a lot of cooling capacity in this coach. Now it also has roof AC units and dash AC units, but what else is new with this coach?
Well, this is again the double slide on the 9660. It has the whole new front end. This coach has the E-mirrors as well as the standard mirrors, which are the new style mirrors. So we've seen those mirrors on 905, 904, 903, and then the E-mirrors now as well. So you have both options here as far as that goes. This is also an Artistry Series coach for Dean, so this has got some really cool stuff. The paint colors on this are really, really nice. You don't see the blues, you don't see the reds, so it's got a real good feel to it as well. The bus air, one of the things about that people talk about is that you do take up a bay in the coach. So we do lose, if you will, a storage capacity in the fourth bay on the driver and passenger side, but it far outweighs, what we have as far as the cooling and heating capacity going down the road. One thing that then does change as well, because you mentioned on the roof airs, you're not having to run that roof air conditioning system at all going down the road because you have all of this capacity for the interior and the dash area of the coach, so you don't run that. You're not relying on the battery systems or the inverter systems to run those roof air conditioners, right? So then we don't have to do as much alternator capacity for the Volta system. Now we still use the same size Volta packs, the two of them, the same inverters and all that, but we just don't have to have the additional alternator. So we have one kW alternator as opposed to two on the triples and the quad slide units.
I always learn something new every time I hang out with you, and I know that you pay close attention to the comments and you're at the shows talking to different owners and different RVers out there, and some of the feedback we got was people want to see us spend less time in the bays and more time in the interior. Now there's a lot of questions I want to ask you because Frank is an encyclopedia of information, so we got to get as much info out of him as possible, but why don't we take a quick walk through the bays here and then we'll take a look inside.
First bay, still pass-through bay on this coach. We have the drawers here and also the tool drawer here as well. We get into the second bay, again pass-through bay here. We then have the large 65-inch pull-out TV. Again, all this here is manufactured by Liberty Coach. All the rollout, it's very effortless to move it in and out. You might be noticing as we're doing this, we have the undercarriage lighting on. There's multicolor, it's changing color as we're going through it. You can stop the color at any position that you want to. Entertainment center bay here with the refrigerator, drawer storage here, the cooking grill area, and then more storage here. We have a Crestron panel down here as well, so you can control the entire coach interior and exterior features, audio, video, and mechanical systems from here also. Now this is the condenser unit for the bus air or over-the-road air. So this condenser unit here is quite large. There's electric fans here that run this, and for those that have been paying attention on the driver's air coaches or the triple and quad slides, we have a section here that has venting, and that's the condenser for just the driver's air system, right? Well, this is the condenser for both the driver and the main coach AC system. In the middle of this then is going to be the fuel tank. We have a large door here that opens now for fuel because of the way the configuration of that. So you've got a locking door here and fuel fill, 200 gallons of fuel. The wet bay is still same. So we've got a 40-gallon water heater, 160-ish gallons of fresh water stainless steel tank, same size capacity for the holding tank. We can dump the coach on either side. We can fill water on either side of the coach. Water filtration. We have the reverse osmosis system as well here. This goes to the refrigerator and the ice maker that's in the coach, as well as this coach has the option for a hot water dispenser at the sink, so that filters that water as well. And then we have the buttons here so that you can add water just by pushing a button here, or dumping in the coach, or dumping the fresh water tank. Again, the fit and finish of what we do down in the bays is unsurpassed in the industry. All of this stuff is made to come out for serviceability. We talk about the serviceability quite a bit, so you'll look at a coach that's 20, 30 years old and you'll see that those coaches still look like this down here because the panels more than likely have come out, but they've been able to go back together very easily so you don't look like everything's all tore apart. Really cool on the paint design as far as that.
Yes, sir, and I've got to point something out that I just noticed when we were up close here. When we go back towards the middle of the coach, this stripe right here, so we've got a drop shadow here, but if you look, there's that drop shadow has a little bit of space, so it looks like this stripe is jumping off of the coach. Just so much intricate detail that nobody else in the industry is doing. Just an absolute work of art. Now, real quick, while we're talking about what no one else is doing, you talked about the water heater, and you use a different system than the hydronic heating units that pretty much everyone else in the industry uses. Why do you choose to use that system over the hydronic heating system?
Well, number one is when you have a water heater, you've got now capacity of water, right? So this is 40 gallons of water sitting that's hot, okay? As opposed to the hydronic systems where the only hot water you have, it's what's passing through there. So you don't have any capacity, storage capacity. So what we have then is additional water capacity with this system. This is electric. It runs about 1800 watts. It is also heated from the main engine. There's a heat exchanger, so we have the hot water from the main engine, the antifreeze circulating around that to keep that hot or to get it hot. So we have the S-bar heating system for the interior of the coach, which is a diesel-fired burner that circulates the antifreeze from the engine, heats that to heat the interior when you're sitting still. That then also runs through the water heater, so that's heating that water also. The advantage of doing it this way is that the water coming to you out of the faucets is just like you have in your home. Big pressure, big volume, unlike what you have to do in those hydronic systems that you have to slow the water down so that when it gets through there, it's hot at the other end. That is a bit of a disadvantage. You'll notice it right away when you turn the faucets on in the coach. Now, we do have a tankless water heater for the shower valve. So let's say, for an example, something happens. Water heater got turned off or something went wrong with the water heater itself. You could then just turn on that tankless system and then at least have hot water to the shower. So that's a bonus on what we do and have done for many years.
Yes, sir, and then it won't need annual service like
Correct.
the hydronic heating system.
No question,
well.
no question. So another thing that comes up and has come up in the comments has to do with the tag axle. Why or do we have on the Prevost a steering or steerable tag? The answer to that is no. And the reason for that is because, as we've discussed so many different times, the Prevost chassis runs millions of miles a year down the road with all the coaches that they have. So the steerable tag is a mechanical problematic system. This is not. So this unloads to be able to cut your turning radius down. You can turn it on or you can turn it off, but it's easy enough to do. There's a switch on the dash. Once you turn the wheel, this is going to unload on the 9660 chassis. It'll unload and make the turning radius within, I think it's like 47 feet. Could be off a little bit on that, but it's pretty darn tight. This will not come off the ground. Don't think that it will. Some people do. This won't come all the way off the ground. It just unloads it, so it doesn't skip going around the corners. If you raise the coach manually, you could get it off the ground a little bit, but I don't know why you would want to do that specifically. But at any rate, that's how that system works, and that's why we don't have a steerable tag.
Thank you for sharing that, and keep dropping those comments because Frank is listening.
We get down in here into the passenger side rear engine compartment. We've got the storage box here. We still have our shore power inlets and the outlet for trailer if you so desire. The D13 Volvo engine, 500 horsepower, 1,850 foot-pounds of torque. We have the stainless steel belt guard on this unit, so we've got quite a bit going on here with belts. Again, this unit has the over-the-road air conditioning system. That compressor is mounted actually onto the engine, so the belt system runs concurrent with that. And then the alternator for the Volta system is riding over here on a separate carrier, which has an airbag system to keep those belts at a constant tension all the time. Once again, Prevost is big on the service aspect of the coach, so all the belts here are under constant tension all the time. It's always a good idea to make sure that nothing's flown off of here, but you don't have to really worry about that because everything's tight. The really thing you have to worry about is age of the belt, or how many times it's been turning. So slide room on this coach, this is not a super slide. Reason being is on a double slide coach, because of how layouts are done, it actually gives us more storage capacity. Then we have more area here in the middle of the coach to do more features on the floor plan. We have the wet bay here on the driver's side, so we've got the stainless steel fresh water tank. We have the gray water bypass system. We have the water hose reel, 100 foot. Electric retract that's manually pulled out. We have the washout system here that you pull out with a hand sprayer. Sewer hoses are mounted in here. Both sides of this bay are heated. So this goes back to some other questions that people have, is what kind of conditions can the coach run in? We've talked about my times going snowmobiling out in West Yellowstone, Montana, 60 below zero. The coach survives. There's no issue with that with the hydronic heating system on. That's keeping the engine at 162 degrees all the time, which also is the transmission. And then the systems here are all heated as well, both electrically or hydronically. So we've got thermostats on both sides and heaters on both sides.
So whether it's hot or cold, this will keep it about 72 degrees year round?
No question.
Yes, sir.
No question. Blind spot detection system. So we have that mounted on the coach too. That's been exclusive to Liberty Coach since our 2021 model year coaches, which was coach 865. And then we also have the bird's eye view camera system, which in fact the first coach that we did that on used, the 2016, is here in inventory as well. So we've been doing that for quite a long time. Shore power reel here. Again, you might see this differently from coach to coach, because on the other coaches that we film that are triples and quads, the cord comes out through the bottom of the coach. Well, because of the over-the-road air conditioning system, the main evaporator is behind this door, and the big fans to blow all the air up into the coach, we don't have the room to be able to move that through the floor. So it comes out the side here. We have the DEF as well as the fuel fill here on this side. Generator, same setup here, the 12.5 kW Onan. Quiet box on the Onan, plus our own quiet sound deadening system that we do as well. Handles are all painted through. Driver's side of the second bay, so the electronics, the brain of the Volta system here with the SOC, or state of charge gauge. This is the main architecture of the Liberty Coach electrical system. So everything is based down in here. Very easy to get to, very easy to troubleshoot if need be.
And talking about ease, I've got to point out the ease of just opening these bay doors, even with the slide room out, very easy to access.
Exactly. Plus, and then again, you're not having to bend down too far, not like other units that are out there that you have to get down on your knees to get around stuff. It's all dirty, what have you. So this is easy breezy to get into. First bay on this side, so we've got a lot of storage here, a lot of height in here as well. Different equipment, the automatic leveling system. This coach also has a central vacuum system. So the central vac is located on that aft wall in the ceiling of the first bay. There's some fun stuff that was added to this coach that's mounted in here. We've got a police siren on this coach. We've got a massive train horn mounted behind the front bumper as well. You know, we're getting to the front of the coach. The back of the coach, we kind of didn't go into the rear cap situation that Kurt did on the 9660, as well as the Prevost designing that rear end of the coach as a spoiler type look to it, so that it keeps the drag on the rear of the coach down, better fuel efficiency, and also it keeps the back of the coach cleaner. Come around the front of the coach here, You can see this is all rounded on the 9660, so the whole front end of the coach has got more of a rounded feature to it. The front cap was redone as well by Kurt. This had to work with the slope design that Prevost had done, sweeping the windshields back and making the whole top of the coach flat. So as compared to the Classics had the step down in the front of the coach. Now the 9660 is straight. So that cap had to be re-engineered and redone. That also is aiding into the fuel efficiency of the coach. The people that have this coach now that are driving it are noticing a significant increase in their fuel efficiency. So they're not stopping at the same fuel locations on the same trip any longer because they're able to go further distance. The new design that we have on the front here, the illuminated Liberty coach plaque. We've got some fun stuff here going on with the bumper lights. These rigid bumper lights are really cool. And then we have strobes in the front as well.
Now, are these lights stock from Liberty Coach, or that's all out?
That's an upgrade as far as on what we do. And that's pretty difficult because there's a whole section that has to be machined behind it to be able to keep the design aspects of what's behind there still intact, right? For waterproof and weather, what have you.
So with the strobe lights and the train horn, if this owner wants to get someone out of the way, they won't have a tough time?
And the siren.
Yes, sir.
We got it all going on.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to getting inside, but I've got to point out one other thing that I love that Liberty Coach started doing, the floating hubcaps like a Rolls Royce. I think you're the only one in the industry doing that.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
We talked about it in a previous video, but that's stock unless someone gets the black wheels, or is that an option?
So it depends. So when you go with if some go with the Wheel Pro or American Racing wheel option, they have the option there for the black or the chrome. On the chrome ones, we can install these because they fit. On the black, we don't have a black option. So, it's just depending on what people want to do.
I love what you're doing, but I'm really excited about the interior of this coach. So this is totally different, more of a warm Western feel in this coach. What's going on, sir?
So this coach actually has been built for a client that have had 5. This is the 5th Liberty coach. We've done 3 new builds. So this is one of the new builds. Then they had 2 used coaches. And this spans over 30 years. They have worked with us specifically through that period of time. We're really proud of this achievement. So this is kind of a Western feel inside of it. There's some neat stuff that he wanted from a past coach that Kurt did up on these valances here. As far as that, all had to be machined in-house. You can't buy that, so that all had to be machined in-house and then applied. So there's a lot of features here that are going on that really make this coach very, very special for them and as well for us.
Yes, sir. And I'm seeing some kind of custom statues in here, some Frederick Remingtons, it looks like.
Yep, they've been moved around from coach to coach. So, that always happens.
If the clients have specific decor or artwork and you can fit it, Liberty Coach will...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Fit that into the build?
Absolutely. So we've got a live wood table here for the dinette L-shaped booth. That's very unique. This backsplash here, the agate, this was really different from what we've done in the past, because some of the ones that we've done in the past, have been so bright and colorful. This really is a little bit more subtle, so has worked out really well there. The copper sink going with the theme of the coach, that's stuff that they wanted to do. So Kim was able to, incorporate all that. So there was quite a bit of a very intricate design that they specifically wanted and went through the interior with Kim on that.
And a totally different style than we've seen in any of the new Liberty coaches, and that backsplash really turned out well. I haven't seen anyone else do a dark backsplash, but I bet we're going to start seeing more of those in some future Liberty coaches.
Very well could. So here we have the new cockpit arrangement that Kurt designed throughout, which was almost a 2-year project for this, and the caps of the roof for the 9660. Really well laid out. We've got new switches here. We've got the displays for the e-mirrors positioned perfectly, one here on the driver's side pillar and one on the center pillar. Then we have our regular mirrors as well. We have the blind spot detection system. The steering wheel, the cover for this is all engineered and done in-house by Liberty Coach. These textures on this leather for the dash is really cool, and how the stitching all the way around is done so perfectly. It's hard to even find that in a Bentley being that perfect. We have the 12-inch iPad display here, which we can bring up all the functions of the coach. We have a display up on top here for a center pillar monitor, so you can bring up different cameras from one to the other. We've got a clamshell deal for snapping your phone in to charging, and then you can AirPlay or Android Auto over to the Pioneer unit here, so you can bring your navigation up here. You can stream your music. You can also do hands-free for the telephone system, which we haven't had for a number of years because the technology, when you were sitting in a big area like this, sounded like you were in a concert hall and nobody could ever hear you. Now the directional microphones are much better. The technology's come a lot further, so now we have hands-free communication for the phone system. Our leveling system here, this is actually from Valid. So now on the leveling system on the 9660, the Prevost suspension, you now have control over the driver and passenger side front and the driver and passenger side rear, which previously we only had one valve for leveling in the front and then one on either side in the rear. So we have a lot more flexibility for terrain. We have push button start now. There's a key fob that you need to operate the coach, and then we have push button start. The parking brake now has been moved to this area here. It's a lot better than having to reach behind you and grab it all the time, so now it's right here. And a lot of multifunctional buttons here for the steering wheel to operate different controls. The amount of glass that we have here as well, on the 9660, the windshields are taller, and the way that Kurt did the whole front end of the coach, we no longer have the overheads there. The TV actually comes down and runs to a larger radius, so it's more convenient and easier to get in and out of the coach with the TV down. And then we have cabinets on either side up here for knickknacks, hats, sunglasses, what have you, and that's on either side coming in and out of the coach. The way that this is all laid out is second to none. There is nobody in the industry that has a cockpit like Liberty Coach. There's just not there. So there's some other stuff that's up in here in the coach, you know, the type of countertops that we did here, the coloring to go with that, the style of the couch, the upholstery of the couch, how it was tufted in certain areas. This rug here was completely custom designed for this coach and with the client, so there's a lot here that we're very proud of for sure. Recliners in this coach are similar to what we have been doing. They're electric as far as the footrest coming out and the recline. We're seeing now this coach has two of the recliners and not the extended galley like we've seen in some of the past units. They do that because they do a little bit more entertaining up in this area here, so they've got, you know, people coming in for business meetings and what have you as well. So we tweak these coaches for the individual needs for clients. You know, we're just not a copy and paste organization. We're a true custom house.
And just talking about custom, I'm noticing the different fabrics here. This booth has a very high-end looking leather texture there that's different than the sofa. What type of textures are we?
You know, I guess that's more like kind of a stingray look to it.
Exactly.
And so, you know, this was again something that they had decided, you know, and Kim had kind of put her thoughts into it as well and give them some options. So, you know, the way that this all came together at the end was pretty cool. This feature wall here being in the stone, that was something that was definitely wanted because they saw that in a different unit that we did, so we came up with something a little bit different here, so it's not an exact copy from another build. So again, the flooring in here and how this all flows together, these planks as far as the flooring goes are much wider than typically that we see. So again, it gives the flooring and the whole coach feel larger.
Yeah, and I'm always impressed the way they line up the grains, all those little details that Liberty Coach does, just incredible.
The other feature that Liberty Coach does we're pretty happy with and clients are happy with as well is the amount of outlets that we have in the coach. So even this dinette area at the toe board of the dinette, there's two outlets here, there's outlets in the back, all USB plug-ins also, so there's a lot of availability for plugging in different equipment. Coach has the inductive cooktop, the Wolf. Drawers are all hardwood drawers. They've got nice coverings on there as well. People have been asking, well, at this high level, why don't we have the soft close drawers and the soft close doors? Because of the fact that we have latches on everything that we do. So if we did a soft close on the drawer, yes, would close, but it would get to that point. So now we still have to latch it. So it kind of is, why would you end up doing that when you have to push the drawer in all the way anyway. The soft close in some areas might not come open going down the road, but as you load the drawer up, you've got inertia. So you start moving the coach and turning, all of a sudden you've got the drawers opening up. Same thing is true on the doors. So this is the same position. We don't want the doors to open up going down the road with something hitting it. So that's why we have, you know, a latch, a positive latch on everything that we do.
I can't tell you how many times I've been driving a motorhome and when I make a turn, a drawer will come out. So that's something that Liberty Coach owners don't have to worry about. These drawers are not going to open?
No, not at all. It's not going to happen. So all of the drawers are done that way. You know, people have asked, let's see what the inside of everything looks like. So nice big deep drawers, lots of storage underneath. You may notice the different covering that's on the floor of this area as opposed to the drawers. This is a lot easier to clean. So let's say you put a lot of cleaning product down there. Sometimes that spills, you got soaps and all that. It's easy to clean up as opposed to some of the other types of materials that would go in there, or sometimes conversion companies don't, or any motorhome company doesn't put anything down there. And the next thing you do, you've got this big stain down there that you can't ever get rid of.
Yes, sir.
And we see a lot of these coaches come back in on trade, so it's easier to go through the shop without having to deal with that. Nice drawer here that Kurt engineered to go around the drain, so we're not wasting space there as well. A tip out area here to put the cleaning sponges. And then we have the trash drawer here, and then extra storage back here for trash bags. Nice big storage area here underneath the Mealy microwave oven, which is also a convection oven. And then we have the pantry here as well. And then this can be converted if you wanted to into a closet, but more than likely it'll always stay a pantry.
As we're walking through the coach, I'm noticing just how clean the light switches and air conditioning controls are. Very modern styling. Is this something newer, or when did Liberty Coach start using this style?
We started using that probably maybe a year ago. Crestron transitioned to a new style of unit, so we went with that at the same time. So there's two of those in the coach. These are actually used for the heating system, but they're a good, you know, glance at it. What's the temperature in here? The Crestron system then has visibility for the temperatures in each section as well, and controlling all the air conditioning and the heat too. So we've got all that information back to us through iPad interface. This switch is here is to move the table in and out electrically. And even when this system is in, because this client's going to be using this coach driving down the road a lot. So not so much sitting as they do when they're driving down the road. So an advantage on this in the double slide is because this all can be in with the table out and still be able to get through here easy enough, get to the refrigerator, get to the other stuff, get to the bathroom, plus you can actually get around the bed with the slide room in also. So again, this is going to be used a lot going underway. And so we had to make sure that all of the equipment and storage and what have you is available to get to while you're going down the road. Same thing with the refrigerator. You know, refrigerator here is easy to get to because it's not even in the slide room.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage of the double slide, the livability while the coach is going down the road. Now, you mentioned 890 was the last Liberty Coach double slide you built. How many double slide, triple slide, and quad slide coaches does Liberty build every year?
So on this production run in 24 and into 25, we're going to be doing 2 double slide coaches. So the coach after this is 907 will be a double slide as well. And then we're going to have a number of triples, and then we've got a quad. So we're going to end up with 1 quad and 2 triples in the balance of what we build. So as we come back here, we've got a big pantry area. So again, with this coach actually has 2 pantries. So you can, like I say, utilize this one over here for closet and this main pantry here.
And very well lit.
Nice chevron door, solid door. No squeaks and rattles on this. This is very important on this client because of the amount of time they will be on the road in the coach. So squeaks and rattles, not going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Warranted for life. Very cool bathroom arrangement here. Again, copper sink here, copper colored on the faucets. A lot of storage area that's up in here as well. Lots of mirror all the way around. Big storage here, outlet, and then more storage over on this side as well. There's a really cool frame picture that's on the wall here. Up in here, the design work and these pieces that are in the soffit, these all had to be machined in-house by our crew and designed by Kurt and then put in. So we come through the hallway, big closet area here through the hall, so there's double closet.
And we've got the full-length mirror here on the inside of the closet door. A lot of closet space, hamper.
Solid, all solid doors. Bedroom area in here, again, this is a standard size slide. So the slide room is not as large, but we ended up, moving closets over to the passenger side here. Washer dryer is up just as you enter.
Yeah, beautiful door on the washer and dryer that matches the Jack and Jill doors with that chevron pattern. Just incredible how this is all put together.
Really cool accent pillows that are done in leather. Very cool, and how all the textures and the different styling as far as for this theme were put together. These upholstered panels here that have got design density to them, if you will.
And then those doors in the back of the coach, they're very rich, beautiful style, different than we've seen in any other Liberty.
Right, and those are solid again as well, like the hallway closet doors. So that's all manufactured by us in-house. Big closet back there as well, big deep drawers going through here. Rear vanity area, copper sink again, and then you've got a lot of storage back here in the vanity. We've talked about this before. How many coaches do you go into and the vanity actually has drawer space in it? Cabinets on either side of the TV area as well. Little knick-knack storage. Nice drawers here at the foot of the bed. Again, this is not a triple slide coach, so even though this isn't a slide room over here, we still have good storage on this side.
And you mentioned that when the slide room comes in, you can still walk around the bed as well.
Still get around the bed.
Wireless charging on both sides of the bed, it looks like?
Wireless charging on both sides of the bed. You have Crestron control for the systems, as well as you have iPad control. You got outlets toward the back. They're on a tower arrangement that you pull up, and you got USB charger as far as 110 volt outlets. Big nice shower in the back here. Real cool. We've still got that similar wall panel that we had in the kitchen area is done back here in the shower niche. The shower is all a stainless steel pan. We talk about this all the time. We don't have a problem with Liberty Coach of any water ever getting out of the shower unless the door is open, because we have a stainless steel pan that we manufacture in-house. We cement that, we tile that, it's rock board, all the walls are, so there's no way water can impregnate through that and get out and get into a moldy situation. And this is very important, especially for a client like this that uses the coach a lot going down the road and does a lot of miles every year.
Yes, sir, and for resale value, these coaches holding together so well, I think that's part of the reason Liberty Coach commands such a premium on the resale market as well.
And there's no question about that, no question.
Thank you for the opportunity to see this incredible coach. Now, what is the current backlog if someone wants to custom order a new Liberty Coach? And then I also heard about some really special pre-owned units coming in on trade. What's the current inventory?
So on the new product, we're out right now. We're just sold the unit for March of next year. So all of those units up to that point are sold. And then again, from that point, it just depends on what somebody wants to do as far as double slide, triple slide, or quad, as far as, when those deliveries would happen. Our pre-owned inventory, we have an incredible selection of pre-owned. We've got 2020 models that have come in early for builds that are finishing up later in the year or in the next year, so those are here already. We have a 2022 that's here, a triple super slide, coach number 886. So that coach is here. Great looking coach, great interior. There's other inventory that we have in the motorhome exchange from 09, 2011s, 2014s. So we got a pretty good selection here. You just go on to the website, libertycoach.com. You can email in coachsales@libertycoach.com. There's also the other company, the Motorhome Exchange. They have their website, themotorhomeexchange.com. And then you can call in, obviously, as well, 800-554-9877. We also have our service office. We don't touch on that much, but as far as serviceability, if you have anything going on with your coach, you can email in serviceoffice@libertycoach.com. I am copied on all of those emails, as well as all of our team, so we continually see what's going on through the service aspect, and we get back to people immediately. So there's a lot of ways to get a hold of us, or jump into the website or email off on a coach that you're looking for.
Yes, sir. And real quick, that 2020 Liberty that you mentioned, I can vouch that that's one of the best cared for coaches. He literally had detailers ceramic coating circles around that coach, keeping it stored indoors except for when he used it for a couple months in the summertime. But I can definitely vouch for that coach, one of the best cared for coaches.
No question at all. Single owner coach. We got a lot of single owner coaches here, or couple owner coaches, and the detail wise on these units. I mean, we just came through our Stewart rally last week here at the dealership. We had 42 coaches here. We had an amazing time, and people were going up to the inventory that's here and going, hey, we think this is brand new. Customers have really been taking good care of their coaches.
Well, Frank, I greatly appreciate the time.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
You. Appreciate all you guys that watch and do the comments, and I try and keep up with them as much as I can. So I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, we appreciate all of you subscribing. Hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.